You saw just last evening, Museveni's son said, I'm the next on the abduction list. Abductions are a policy now, a government policy in Uganda.
General MUHOOZI has come out to show his next target, and his next target is none other than the People's President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Bobi Wine. He's coming out to say that his next target of abduction is Bobi Wine. And if such things are treated by the CDF, they cannot be taken for granted, because the CDF has the tools of coercion. In a tweet which was done by MUHOOZI, he came out to say, Kabobi can hide underneath Bazungu's underpants as much as he wants, but I'll get him 100%. And he also came out in another tweet to say, Runyankole lesson loading, with a picture of His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Bobi Wine. And when he talks about Runyankole lessons, it means abduction, because that's what he said when he abducted Eddie Mutwe. When Eddie Mutwe was abducted, he came out to say that he's learning Runyankole in his basement. So in this episode, I've come to talk about the threat which is being done by General MUHOOZI, a CDF, the son of the president, to the leading contender and opposition leader and the People's President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Bobi Wine, what it means for our democracy, and most importantly, the study materials we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagali. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. So, first of all, MUHOOZI tweeting such things, it is not a joke. His account is verified. I see some sycophants coming out to say that maybe he doesn't run his Twitter account. Yet even MUHOOZI himself has never come out to distance himself from such acts. Okay? We are in an era where Uganda has fallen. And those who have voices of keeping quiet, a CDF coming out to threaten people, abducting them and killing them, is so unfortunate. So MUHOOZI coming out to threaten Bobi Wine is not supposed to be taken for granted. But I also tell MUHOOZI that he must come when he's prepared. The last time they abducted Bobi Wine, the country was not stable. Even the outside world came out on the street to protest. And for me, I think these are aimed at threatening. Because if you ask who follow Bobi Wine and support him, if you see MUHOOZI coming out to say that he's going to abduct Bobi Wine, you may fear. So they're instilling fear in us. Okay? But the good thing is, even Bobi Wine is coming out to say that he's not buying fear. He's not buying intimidation. He's coming out to say he doesn't fear anything, that is ready to take on the dictatorship. And that's the leader we need. Before I proceed, I want to play a tape when Bobi Wine was actually not fearing these threats. Here's the tape.
You saw just last evening, Museveni's son said, I'm the next on the abduction list. Abductions are a policy now, a government policy in Uganda. Abantu kuli mugenda maaso nga kukulemberwa amagye g'eggwanga, ngero omukulu akulira okuwamba abantu ye mutabani wa Museveni, MUHOOZI Kanyarugaba. Okuwamba abantu kati yenkola ya gavumenti ya Uganda. Era mwamulabye jjo ng'agamba nti nze nzirako okuwambibwa n'okutulugunyizibwa n'okunyigiriza olunyankole ku mpaka. Njagala bakakasa nti tebagenda tutiisatiisa, tetutidde. Tugenda kwerwanako mu ngeri yonna y'amateeka. Twamaze dda okupetitioninga buli kitongole kyonna wano mu Uganda n'okwetoola ensi yonna. Naye tetukunga ne bannayuganda bonna beerwaneko mu ngeri yonna esoboka. Ebikolwa nga bino ebyokuwamba abantu, ebyokutemula abantu, byatwala Museveni ne banne mu nsiko ne bakwata emmundu ne bagenda ne beerwanako. Saagala balowoozi nti be baasembayo okubeera abavubuka. Tuli non-violent, ne tetugenda kusirika, tetugenda kutuula bino bituukeko nga twebase. Nedda, tugenda kwerwanako mu ngeri yonna esoboka.
That is Bobi Wine. So you clearly see that even Bobi Wine knows the assignment is doing. The issue of MUHOOZI coming out, okay, to threaten Bobi Wine is so that Bobi Wine can buy fear, because it's some of the people fear for their lives. But I keep on telling people that God wrote in the book when, how you'll die, okay, and we are not buying fear. Okay, this era has a duty to streamline our politics, to streamline our human rights, our human rights, so that they cannot be trampled upon. Okay, so to show that it is a plan to make Ugandans buy fear. In a tweet, even General MUHOOZI came out to take full responsibility of the wrath of the unconstitutional beatings which are always put on Ugandans. He came out to say, I take full responsibility for the actions of my soldiers, including the long overdue beating of Eddie Mutwe. That was an appetizer. So he's still confirming that he can come out and do anything, abduct, beat people in his basement. It is a sign aimed at showing Ugandans that, look, come slow, go slow, I'm in charge. I can beat Bobi Wine's team, I can abduct Bobi Wine at any time. And it's so unfortunate. What pains me more, if these things were done by the previous regime, maybe, but Museveni's government before it went to the bush, and the 10-8 programs, they stood on issues of human rights. They stood on electoral democracy. Okay? They stood on end of tribalism. It is the same things General MUHOOZI is entrenching. You don't have electoral democracy. You organize an election and you beat up contenders. And last cycle of election, 2021, all presidential candidates tested prison, police stations, abducted. In some of the areas where they were barred from going there. Okay? Now we are having Panda Gari, just that today we are having drones. And you want to tell me that the regime which once stood on the side of fighting for the people is the same regime that's devouring nationals? And for what pains me more, that these things are being done by the CDF. Maybe God forgot us in this country. We must continue praying as we are fighting. I keep on telling Ugandans that freedom, okay, and human rights are not gotten on the silver platter. They are gotten because of agitation. Agitation in which way? Speaking about them like I'm doing. Peaceful protest. Okay? Okay? Banning some things. Boycotts. If we keep on sitting ourselves, they are going to eat Bobi Wine, they are going to eat his team, and the next person will be you and me. Of course, that's my opinion. Do make comments by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.
Audio Jungle.